Modules 1 through 6, we looked at the philosophies underlying the development of the documents that form the foundation of this country. We looked at the Constitution, federalism, civil liberties, and civil rights. These 6 modules will provide the foundation for both the first and second semester of this course. Now we're actually going to start looking at some of the processes in political science that actually relate to how we feel about government or how we participate in government. In Module 7, we're going to be looking at political culture and socialization. What is political culture? Well, briefly stated, it's the collective ideologies, values, beliefs, norms, assumptions, and patterns of behavior that characterize a particular country. Our beliefs are the ideas that are considered to be true by a society. In the United States, we believe in something called egalitarianism, or a doctrine emphasizing the natural equality of people in the society. We also believe in individualism, the principle emphasizing the centrality and dignity of the individual and his or her capacity for free action. And we believe in equality of opportunity, the right of each individual to the same chance to get ahead in society. Values are a society's shared conviction about what is just and good. And our creed is belief in the United States as a government of the people, by the people, and for the people, whose powers are derived from the consent of the governed. There's the notion in the United States of American exceptionalism, the conviction that America's vast frontier offered boundless opportunities for individuals to achieve their goals. Once we reached the West Coast, however, once we reached the moon, some folks started to believe that American exceptionalism may not be what it once was. Those vast, endless opportunities that might be out there may no longer be out there as they once were for previous generations. And patriotism is the love of one's country and respect for its symbols and principles. We believe in political tolerance, or the willingness to allow groups with whom one disagrees fundamentally to exercise their constitutionally guaranteed freedoms. And we believe in the rule of law, the premise that government is based on a body of law agreed on by the government that is applied equally and justly. In the United States, we believe in capitalist economic values. Values that emphasize the need for a free enterprise system, open business competition, private ownership of property, and limited government intervention in business affairs. And we do practice rituals, ceremonial acts performed by the people of a nation. For example, saluting the flag, playing the national anthem at sporting events, fireworks on the 4th of July, and so forth. We have our political traditions, customs, and festivities passed on from one generation to another. And we have symbols, such as the Statue of Liberty you can see here in the photo, or the flag, objects or emblems that represent the nation. We have folklore, legends and stories that we share, and heroes, people who in theory embody the best of what we have to offer and thereby define a nation's political culture. Within the United States, we have subcultures, distinct groups associated with particular beliefs, values, and behavior patterns, and existing with the overall framework of the larger political culture. And the United States for centuries has been considered a melting pot, which is a metaphor used to describe how immigrants from many different backgrounds come together in the United States, and that assumes that the distinct habits, customs, and traditions of particular groups disappear as their members assimilate into the larger culture. More recently, we have embraced a notion of multiculturalism, or an appreciation of the unique cultural heritage of racial and ethnic groups in the United States, some of whom seek to preserve their native languages and lifestyles. The concepts addressed in this section on political socialization include political learning, a broad concept that encompasses both the active and passive and the formal and informal ways in which people mature politically, and the political self, the sense of personal identification with the political world, which includes belonging to a community and knowledge of the shared beliefs and values of the members of that community. We go through a process of political socialization, the process through which we develop the attitudes, values, beliefs, and opinions conducive to becoming good citizens in our country. And we interact with agents of socialization, individuals and institutions including family, school, peer groups, the mass media, all responsible for imparting political orientation through the socialization process. Much of what we believe today is as a result of this socialization process. One of the objectives of this class is to teach you to think analytically, to apply critical thinking to how you make decisions about politics. Nevertheless, we're all influenced by our political socialization. We have the concept of political legitimacy, having or not having faith in the integrity of the political system and processes. Many would argue that today, particularly in the current election, many do not have faith in the integrity of the system. Political efficacy, individuals feeling that they can or cannot personally influence the government and politics. And as I told you all in the original lecture, you all can influence the government, but yet that doesn't take away from the feeling that somehow as individuals we cannot influence the process. Nevertheless, one of the objectives of this class is to let you know and to empower you to feel that you can in fact affect the process. Indoctrination, the process of instructing people to conform to a particular doctrine, principles, and ideologies. And of course, if you go to political party meetings, they will try to convince you not to believe some of what they say, but all of what they say. And again, one of the objectives of the course, or the principal objective of the course, is to teach you to think critically. A political generation is a group of individuals similar in age who share a general set of political socialization experiences, leading to the development of shared political orientation that distinguish them from other age groups or societies. We have the silent generation from the mid-20s to the 40s. We have the baby boomers. We have Generation X, the millennials, and whatever the term they're using for that generation beyond, which many of you may ultimately end up falling into. The impressionable years, period from the late adolescence to the early adulthood, when people begin to think more seriously about politics and can take part in meaningful ways, such as by voting.